after some
If
technical
anyone's here.
difficulties.
Yeah, no one's here.
No.
We lost
Yep.
our 2 viewers
Yep.
thanks to my incompetence.
Wait, wait a
Yeah,
second. See.
yeah. We'll wait a minute, see if they come back. Yeah, so that was my fault. I had it somehow playing. I had the live playing somehow on a tab on my phone, but I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know how I did that. I don't know how I did that.
Yeah, yeah. I just go through use the app. So like, I don't know. Like, cause
Yeah.
you're streaming through your phone, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I should
Yeah.
probably try it through the iPad because it'd probably be easier, maybe to navigate. But yeah, I have it on my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was supposed to get StreamYard. I was supposed to subscribe to StreamYard to make it easier because I know how to use StreamYard, and that way you could have used it on your
Mhm.
laptop too. But I was having issues. I told you I was having issues with.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, which is weird. I've never had StreamYard subscription or anything. I've joined other
uh huh.
people's, but I didn't know it required any
No,
monetary
just
value.
yeah. You have to pay for it.
Okay, okay.
I don't think there's a free version. Maybe there is a free version.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
didn't.
You would think if other people could use it, it would be free, but
Yeah, I didn't
um,
even check
because then
to
like
see.
we were mentioning thing of using StreamYard because like that way other people who were watching last time if they wanted to join in, that was a way for them. And
Right.
then with this you can't, right? That's the
Yeah.
catch.
No, I
Okay,
can
okay.
only. Yeah, and we
Okay.
wanted to be able to chat face to face
Mhm.
online
Yeah.
with anybody who
Yeah.
wanted to join. Yeah. So I guess if I can't get StreamYard, then maybe we'll just do this on a Zoom since I have a subscription to Zoom.
Okay. And
The
I
only
used
thing
that
is,
before. It was good.
yeah, that's what we used to chat with
Yeah, the
Rainy
reading group. Yeah.
and Julie. Yeah. Uh, the only thing is, I don't think it can be streamed to
Oh, like
YouTube.
after the fact or something. Yeah, I don't know if you could maybe record it or I don't know if there's a
I think it.
way.
Yeah, you're right. I think
Maybe
it
you
can
could
be
record
recorded.
like your screen or something. Maybe at least that would something. There has to be a way. Like,
I'll have
yeah.
to look it up. Yeah, I am not tech savvy at all. I am so
No. Yeah.
illiterate when it
Yeah.
comes
No,
to
I couldn't even get this
technology.
working without my boyfriend's help. I was like, help.
Oh,
Because yeah, I'm like, because you were messaging me through Instagram. So I'm like, how do I get all this long website on here? And I'm like, how would I do it? So I had to text him, and he has like the messaging thing on the
uh-huh.
tablet. So I texted him, and he copied and pasted from that. Yeah, it was like a whole thing. It was like a
Yeah.
4-page pathway to get
Yeah.
here. Mm.
Yeah, it's so complicated. Well, I'm sure there's a easy way.
Yeah, yeah, it has to be. It
I
has to
just don't know how. I just don't know what the easy way is.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well, I guess we can go ahead and start chatting about the
yeah,
figure in the
yeah.
shadows, and if anybody joins, they join. If not, then, I mean, they
Yeah,
can.
they can always catch it up after the fact.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
like
anybody
later.
wants to. So, what did you think of the figure in the shadows, especially compared to the house with the clock in its walls?
Okay, well, initially, just comparing the two, there's less magic you would think. At
Hmm.
first, if you don't think about the amulet part of it. Um, so yeah, I liked. I feel like I liked the first one more than this one. This one felt darker. Like honestly, like
Hmm.
it felt much more dark. Like the whole like possession thing. I don't know. I don't get any spoilers away. I don't know, but the whole like idea of that and how he like strikes out at people and there's like foul language in this one too. Like that
Yeah,
foul language.
yeah.
That was the thing I wrote down. I was like, that took me by surprise. I was like, for a kid's book. But I don't know what age these were marketed to. Like I was assuming 8 to 12, but
Yeah.
yeah,
That's what I
but
would think. I would think it would be 8 to 12, middle, late, upper elementary
yeah, yeah,
through middle school. Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, I liked it. Yeah, it felt the tone was a bit like darker than the other one.
Kind of
But although the
like
other one had pretty dark stuff too. It wasn't all like light and fluffy either.
book
But
one. Yeah, no.
yeah,
That
I
one
would
had
say
a
like a
lot
nice
of
kind of like gothic, cozy like gothic. I would say something like that where it had like the magic in the dark, but it has like cozy elements as well. It's
Yeah,
a
it does,
yeah,
and it's that's one of the things that I think is so maybe not strange because I mean, you can
unique to this for sure.
right, right.
I feel like
Yeah,
most always go one way or the other. Yeah, they're not
yeah,
trying to
I
strike a
think
middle
that's a good
line.
way to describe it. It's unique because, yeah, you either read like cozy or cozy mystery or gothic, but it's not often that you find something that's both cozy and gothic, which is what I love so much about these books.
Mhm, mhm.
And I don't know how John Bellairs does it. I can't even like quite put my finger and tell you like this is this is how it's done or this is what he's doing. But
Yeah, yeah.
like even with
I
book
wonder if like kind of
one,
like where he grew up. Like, did he grow up in like this like cozy small town? I remember I looked him up last
mhm,
month. So this is all new to me.
Marshall,
I remember he
Michigan.
grew up in like a small town, so I wonder if he's pulling like those elements along with
Yeah.
like going for the vibes of this. Like, I wonder if he's like,
Yeah,
I feel
I
like I'm
think
sure he has a background in the small town cozy lifestyle at least. Yeah.
when I was looking up information on Wikipedia about John Bellairs, um, I I think I read that he did like he himself was a chubby kid and he grew up in a
Okay.
tiny
Okay.
town, which I think was supposed to be really uh, a picturesque town, at least from
Mm.
what I've read. I know Karen told us last time that it's not like,
Yeah. Maybe back then it was like
yeah, maybe
I
at
don't know
one
when I don't
point.
know when he grew up. Like maybe 100 years ago. I don't. You know,
Yeah.
it was different
I
back
know,
then.
like, it reminds me a lot of my hometown
Mm.
in Illinois. I
Okay.
grew
Yeah,
up
she
in
grew
the
up in the Midwest.
Midwest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in a tiny little town, and we didn't have like a Mansion Street
Mm.
or
Like this one does. Yeah.
yeah, so we didn't have a street necessarily with mansions, but we had a street called Tinley Avenue, and that had all these really beautiful, and they're still there, these beautiful sort of Victorian looking
Mhm.
houses. And some of them were not Victorian, but they were still very beautiful houses. And yeah, now they're kind of run down.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
the owners, who the people who owned the houses when I was there when I was a child, um, either uh, moved away as they got older, or they were put into, old folks' homes, or they passed away. And
Mhm.
then, like, the people who've purchased the houses or who live in the houses now, maybe they're renters. They don't take very good care of the
Yeah.
houses. But yeah,
Yeah.
but
I was
it
about to say
reminds
I've
me.
seen them. I was about to say I've seen them like split into apartments too. Like
Hmm.
the town I
Yeah,
grew up in, like we had a lot of colonials, some Victorians, a lot of colonials, and those were often like broken up
yeah.
uh into
I think that's probably
multiple.
the style of some of the houses colonial. But yeah, so it reminds me a lot of my hometown. And I think that's a big part of it with me is that the small town feel reminds me
Mhm.
of my small town of my hometown. And even though I grew up there in the 80s, to me it felt, maybe it was a 1980s feel, but to me it felt like what it probably would have been like growing up in the 50s or the 60s.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
It doesn't change with the times as much as
yeah,
some like the big
yeah,
cities. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, but he does such a great job, doesn't he? Of
He
like just
does.
making it so
Yeah.
atmospheric, that gothic and that cozy, just melding the two together. I just love it. Yeah. Um, I think I like book one because not necessarily more than book two. I think I like it for different reasons. I like book one because it introduced us. It
To the
introduces us
world and
to,
everything. Yeah. The
right, to
characters.
the Barneveld, the New Zebedee world. So I really enjoy it because of that, and I love everything. Everything is just feels new and fresh. You're introduced to Barnevelt's Folly,
Mhm.
Jonathan Barnevelt's house. You're introduced to the town. You're introduced to the world of Louis Barnevelt. So I really enjoy book one because of that. Book two, to me, I feel like I can't say that I like the the plot more. I think I like the plot of book one more, but book two, I think I really enjoy the atmosphere. I
Mhm.
really
Mhm.
like the atmosphere. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked it too. I was a little bit like, "Oh, darn it," like, well, I could for one thing, I could see how, like, you're talking about how the author grew up with, like, dealing with being overweight, and I was like, it's very strong in this one as well. Like, even, like, that
Mhm.
last page, it was talking about, like that, was it something like gym membership or something that I think that very last page in the book was like, "Oh, here it pops up again," like, him reminding him to, like, go to the gym or diet or something, so that was a little bit like, oh, like, it's very heavy throughout
Yeah.
these first couple books, and I don't know if it'll be, like, a plot point later when I'm, like, building confidence. But yeah, that was one thing I was like, okay, it's a lot, but but it does drive the story. It motivates him
Yeah.
as well. So,
Yeah. I know one of the things that I actually wrote down is when they were talking about when there was a fire drill and they're going, I believe they're going back up into the classroom, and Woody Mingo is standing behind
yes,
Lewis. And as he's going up, he like I think he touched his rear end, and he
yeah.
was
It seems
saying,
like he put his hand in his pockets.
right,
It was like
yeah, yeah, in the
pushing him or
pockets.
pushing him along or something. I'm like,
And he's saying
bumping
left
him.
butt, right butt, left butt, right butt,
Yeah, it
right?
was weird.
And so it's like I wondered if that's something, and then after they make it to the classroom or they make it to the top of the stairs, Woody says something about his weight, right? He says something
Hmm.
regarding his weight. So yeah, so I thought that must be something that John Belair's experienced because it seems like something I don't know.
It's very
I'm like,
specific. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like could somebody make that up? Like if somebody who did didn't grow up as an overweight child and who wasn't made, fun of because of their weight,
Hmm.
could they know? I
Yeah,
mean, I
yes.
guess
Well,
if
there's
you're a
like kind of
writer,
like,
you've
and the
got
kids are kind of cruel too. Like even just like the
yes.
not just what they do, but how like, the verbally the words that they use. I'm like, oh, the poor
Doesn't
kid.
that just seem though like stereotypical of that era?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, kids nowadays are cruel too. I mean, yeah. I mean,
Right,
they can
right.
be there.
Right. It's
Yeah.
not that they're not. It just I don't know. I
Yeah.
know we
Maybe like
actually
more of like parents try and like curtail that more or like more of a focus. But
maybe
I have no idea. Yeah.
maybe it's because we talk so much about social emotional learning in the
Respecting
schools now.
others and all that. Yeah, the
Yeah.
golden
I don't
rule
know.
and yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, maybe it hasn't changed. Maybe kids are I mean, I guess I should know. I mean, I was a teacher for 9 years, 10 years.
Yeah,
10
you
years.
should know like what the kids are up to nowadays.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't feel like at least in 3rd grade, the kids that I had, I don't think my last year at the big city school I went to, I did have a couple of girls. I had one, but she was more physically abusive with the
Mm,
kids. She had some psychological issues.
okay. Okay.
But I don't think I ever had anybody who was like constantly bullied like that. Not
Okay.
in 3rd grade. Maybe in the upper grades once
Yeah,
they
like
get
probably towards like fifth or sixth.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah. The one thing with the way the one thing I did note was one of my notations was that the illustrations the illustrations don't exactly line up with the description because like he doesn't look and the drawings as because there's a couple of drawings with him with his friend Rose Rita, and like they
Rose.
don't, yeah, he doesn't look that much bigger at all than she does. So I don't know if I got I'm not
Were,
zooming in. I read it on on my Kindle, so I don't know if I zoomed in enough to see, but
mhm.
he didn't look like abnormally big.
Right. Were you did you read the edition that was illustrated by Mercer Mayer or Mercer Meyer?
Oh, I didn't write down who the illustrator was. It was like they were black and white illustrations,
Yeah.
and like they're kind of like they looked a little bit shorter, and the illustration
Mhm.
looked like
Yeah.
that was
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that might be Mercer Meyer.
Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe it's
yeah,
just the
he was
style, like how he draw because they do look a little bit miniature than you would think
yeah.
in the pictures.
Yeah, no, in the illustrations, I listened to an audiobook on YouTube because I couldn't
Okay.
find an ebook available anywhere online. So I listened to a YouTube audiobook just read by some random person.
Mm,
So I did not see the illustrations, but I remember the illustrations from
okay.
the physical copy that I have back in the US. and mine was illustrated by Mercer Meyer,
Okay,
or Mayer,
I'll see if
I
I
don't
can
know
pull
how
up
you
a
say his
picture real
last name.
quick, but
But yeah, you're right though, he doesn't seem any bigger than,
yeah, no, he does, yeah.
but I wonder if that was something that was, that the publisher requested, like,
Mm,
don't make him, we still want him to be physically or aesthetically attractive, so don't make him
yeah,
exceptionally
I
overweight.
just found one of them. This is with the
Yeah.
bully, and,
Yeah.
like, he doesn't look where's my finger? This is supposed to be Lewis,
Uh-huh.
but,
Yeah.
like, I mean, I can see, like, the shirt a little bit, but, like, the kid's shirt, the bully shirt, he's supposed to be really thin.
Mhm.
He doesn't look that much different. I don't yeah.
Yeah. No.
It was just a commentary, I guess, that I had.
Yeah, I wonder if they were or if there were current editions published now, if
Mm,
they would make him any
yeah, different, yeah. I wonder
make
if there's
him
any other
more
illustration. I'm sure, like,
accurately.
maybe, like, UK or something. I bet there's a different illustrator for different,
Yeah.
editions maybe, but yeah. But yeah, it was
So,
it was a it was a fun time. Like, I like the moving of the plot, like, of this one,
mhm.
for sure. Well,
Yeah,
and
it
again, with the
felt
other one, they were introducing so many characters. I mean, they were
right. Yeah.
introducing stuff, so I didn't have that, as much as I guess this one felt a bit more faster paced than the other
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like in the other one, all the action happened right at the end.
Yeah,
In this
yeah,
one, you've got events leading up to the climax.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And this is when I was
Yeah.
like, "Just talk to the grown up, please." Like, I kept saying it to myself, like, multiple times.
Yeah, like,
"This would
didn't
all
you
be
learn from
resolved if
your
you talk to the
first
grown up." I know.
experience?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like he made the mistake in book 1 of not sharing with, Jonathan and, Mrs. Zimmerman,
Mhm.
what he'd done at the cemetery, and so that got him into bigger trouble. It's like, now it's, "Louis, come on,
Yeah,
learn
yeah.
your lesson. Tell them what you
Yeah, the
did."
other big thing here is anxiety. That was because I noticed this one a lot in this book. He was dealing a lot with anxiety of, like, doubting himself and then doubting his actions and then not wanting to get in trouble and wants to
Uh-huh.
keep quiet. Maybe this will go away. That kind of, which I can identify with that for sure. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
That's a
Mhm.
really interesting observation, Lindsay, because I hadn't
Mhm.
even considered that. But yeah, you're right. I think he I don't know I don't know if John Belair's necessarily would have called it anxiety, but that's what
Mm.
it is. That's
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
was. It was
It was very nervous. So I don't. You
yes.
say back then. Yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh. But I think that is Lewis though, isn't it?
yeah, yes.
He is a very anxious, nervous.
He's quite. He questions everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I really like the
But he feels like a
contrast
real kid
between.
though. Like, at least, like, to me he does. Like, I kind of
Oh
see
yeah.
him as a
Yeah.
kid. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I like the contrast between him and Rose Rita.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
but one of the things I really liked was their friendship and just the way they had they must have had similar interests, because there was the oh, we've got two viewers.
Oh,
Hey
hi.
Jess and Lucinda, hi.
Hi.
We're talking about the figure in the shadows. We haven't gotten too far
No.
in.
Yeah.
We've pretty much just talked about our thoughts on book 2 compared to book
Mhm.
1.
Comparing. Yeah.
Yeah. But I really like that Rose Rita and Lewis apparently have similar interests, because there was that one part where um they were working on his galleon, on his ship,
Mhm.
and they were
Mhm.
looking for a Latin phrase
Yes. Yes.
to write on the ship. And so it's like, oh, I like that that he Lewis found a friend who is interested in either the same things he's interested in, or she cares enough about him that she's going
Yeah.
to take an interest, because like that little kids building a ship looking for a Latin phrase
Yeah.
too.
It's not really typical. Yeah.
Right,
For
right.
sure. Yeah. I like how she, like, tries to, like, pull him out of his shell a little bit. Like, I like how it's like a girl doing this, and yeah, because I feel like boys at that age, like, don't want to have any girls that are friends kind of thing. I'm like, girls have cooties or so. I like that little twist of like,
Yeah.
because like she was just mentioned like on that the book one, just like you mentioned her name was like, oh, I have a new best friend or something like that was mentioned, and
Mhm.
like the last
Yeah.
the last chapter, I'm like, who is this? So I like we finally got to see her in this one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I like her personality too. I
yeah,
like that
yeah. She's
she
not spunky.
is yeah, I like that she compliments Lewis. Like, their personalities complement each other. But yeah, like you said, she tries to draw him out
Hmm.
and help him be brave.
Yeah, yeah,
And
and it mentions
yeah,
several times that she's a tomboy, and he's so
mhm.
you talked about how he's so bad at sports. I keep waiting. I waited through the whole book thinking like, oh, she's gonna help him with like learn how to hit a ball or kickball, something. I thought she was gonna do something with that,
Yeah, not
but then they
yet.
didn't. They worked on the boat instead, which was a twist.
Right, right. Which I mean, I guess Rosarita has her interests, which she's into sports, m-
Mhm.
but it's not necessarily something I guess that they do together. Since
Yeah,
Lewis
and she doesn't
here,
make fun of him either, like all the other kids
right,
do, which is
right,
which what a best
yeah,
friend should do, is stick up for him. Yeah,
yeah. And I
yeah.
like the way at the beginning of the book she's described. The author says when she said something, she meant it.
Oh
I like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. She comes
Yeah.
out as very like confident and knows herself, and she finally went to the grown ups like
Yes, yes.
saved the
And
day.
I really liked the part with her beanie where they go to
Hmm.
the eye doctor.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
no, I cracked up laughing at the part where she goes into the to her appointment. She's wearing her beanie, and apparently she and the eye doctor had a bit of a altercation
Hmm.
because of her beanie, and
Yeah,
so
she's
he
basically
takes her off.
yelling. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, she wants to wear her beanie, and he wants her to take it off, and then she yells at him, "You're not God." I thought that was just hilarious. I don't know
Yeah,
why, but
yeah.
it
When
made
she
me
said
laugh.
that, I thought, okay, okay, she's now being possessed by this this. I thought for, and then it came about at the end. They talk about how they're not possessed. It's just him, just Lewis,
Yeah.
who has that
No,
ability.
it's
And I
just
thought,
her
okay, oh, it's
personality.
talking back like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just her personality. Yeah, I
Yeah, no,
like
I thought she was
Rosarita.
being taken over at that point. Really, I didn't think of it until you were still mentioning. I was like, oh, actually, no.
Yeah, no, especially since she took the amulet
Hmm.
and
Yeah, so
put it
yeah,
away.
I thought she had it in her hat at first. Like she said, she didn't want to give up the hat, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like them. Um, and speaking of hats, I thought it was so random, and it made me wonder if it was a tradition or if it was just something that happened in the book. At the beginning of the book, Lewis is wearing a Sherlock Holmes hat. What is it, like a
Yes.
deerstalker hat? And it says that it was given to him by his uncle Jonathan as a 4th of July present.
Oh, okay, I didn't catch the 4th of July part of it. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I thought, I wonder if that's a tradition that maybe they used to
Yeah, give
have.
hats away. I wonder if she got her hat too. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Or, just
Hmm.
to give a present, just to give a 4th
Yeah.
of July present.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't see
Um,
that nowadays. No,
no,
you do have like a cookout
no.
and a get together, but
You
yeah.
know what I think is really not funny. I mean, it makes sense. I just had never thought about this. But when I visited a plantation in Louisiana outside of New
Mm.
Orleans, and I bought a book that was written by the plantation owner's daughter. It was based on her life on the plantation. And one of the things she talked about is, and this has nothing to do with the figure in the shadows, it's just an aside.
Yeah.
Um, and
Observation.
yeah, so I believe she went to school in the north, maybe in the northeast somewhere. And there was a 4th of July, an Independence Day celebration, and she didn't celebrate because Southerners did not celebrate
Oh,
the 4th of July.
they want to be like still apart. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
maybe it
that's
wasn't
weird.
yeah, maybe it wasn't all across the South, but apparently from what she said, because of the rift between the North and the South,
Hmm.
Southerners didn't recognize Independence Day or didn't celebrate. the
Yeah,
4th
I
of
bet they had
July.
their own Independence Day, like
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it was
when they
when they
broke away.
seceded from,
Yeah,
yeah, from the
yeah.
US. Yeah. So I
And
thought
it's
that
funny,
was
like, she's a
really.
plantation owner's daughter. I'm like, of
Mhm.
course.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
really
it
good.
was, the plantation is Nottoway Plantation
Mm,
in, I believe it's called White Castle. No, no, no. I
okay.
think
Yeah, they
I
all have
think
their
the
names. Yeah, fancy name.
Yeah. Anyways, I thought that was that was interesting. And oh, that's a good segue.
Mm,
So there's a part where they talk about the Civil War, right? The
mhm.
Michigan, it says so
Yes,
um
the what do they call it? The zoo? Yes,
Zouave Fire,
yes.
Zouave Dancer
Uh huh.
Lancers.
Where they have like the red pants, they're like really colorful outfit,
Yeah.
and
So
they talk
I
about how they're
looked it
playing like
up.
the knights, with the what do you call it?
The Lances.
Yes,
Lance,
yes, the
right?
lancers. Yeah.
Yeah. So I looked it up because I thought that's really interesting. I had no idea this
Mm,
was like a division of the army or whatever you call it. So I looked it up, and apparently there is no fifth. What was it? The
the Fifth
Fifth
Michigan or
Regiment
something.
of the Michigan Zouave Fire Dancer Lancers.
Mm.
So that was just made up. Although there were Zouave Fire
Mhm.
something
Yeah,
in
yeah. I knew about
Massachusetts.
that. Yeah. I knew like
Yeah.
the red outfits and all that. Like they look different and but I don't remember about the lance part of it. I knew they had a different costume.
Hmm. Yeah, so
But
that was
it's
interesting.
just in history books. I knew that was a thing, but yeah, I didn't know what the
Yeah.
lancing part. Did you know if
Yeah.
that was
So,
is the lancing part of that true as well?
there were divisions of Lancers,
Mhm.
but I don't know. Oh, there's a truck going by. I don't know if you can
Okay.
hear that. That's really loud.
Yeah, I hear it. It's not too loud though.
So there were Lancers, but I don't know if they, because I went online too to find out about Spotsylvania Corner, the Battle of
Mm.
Spotsylvania Corner, and I just skimmed through the article because it was a lot, but I don't remember reading about Lancers.
Mhm. Yeah, I know they would have like something they would put on their like their gun, their rifle. They would attach something like the was
Hmm.
it bayonet? To like
Bayonet,
the
yeah,
bayonet. I knew about
yeah,
that. That's what I was thinking of.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So,
But yeah, it was
um,
interesting. I wonder
yeah,
if the author has family members that were in the war, like some grandpa or something, like telling him stories or
I would
uh,
imagine so, probably.
yeah.
I know they did say something I read online said that he probably was inspired to include the Zouave fire
Hmm.
dancers or whatever
He said that was in
because,
Massachusetts.
yeah, because when he
Yeah.
lived in Massachusetts,
Oh, okay.
they did they do a reenactment or something? I don't know.
I
Maybe
they do that in the
they
South, so
were
I
active.
bet they're bound to do some of that in the North. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They were active in his area of Massachusetts.
Okay.
So they believe that's
Especially
how
during
he
his
was.
time, I bet,
Yeah,
more. Yeah.
yeah. It's
Interesting.
it's too bad. I mean, obviously, this is going to sound really dumb, but I feel I wish he were still alive so that we could ask him questions.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that
Or like read up on an interview or something like that.
right, right. So that he would have
Yeah.
been there'd been interviews or yeah, author
Mhm.
interviews because there's just so much that I have so many questions
Yeah. And
about
when did he die? Like when was he? I didn't look this up. Like when was he? Bo-
1993. Look, I'm not sure. I'm gonna say 1993, but I
okay.
could be wrong
I'm just
because I
looking
feel
okay. He was born in 1938 and he died in 1991. Okay.
91. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I remember thinking, oh, I wish I had discovered him when I was a child. That way, I could have.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah. But yeah, yeah, the Civil
oh,
War does play a key part in this for sure. Yeah.
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 Well, now we had talked earlier about the gothic cozy atmosphere, and one of the things that like I have read this book multiple times,
Mm.
and every time I read it, it's that part at the beginning of the book where he hears the flip flop and he says, or it's in the middle of the night. I think it's like midnight, and he hears a noise, and it's described as a flip flop and he says he recognized the noise, but it was a noise that he had never heard at that time of night. And then
Mm.
it goes on to tell you it's the mail slot at the front door.
Okay,
And it's the
okay.
noise that,
Yeah.
envelopes, letters going through make. And so
Mhm.
he goes downstairs, he pulls out it was like a
Yeah,
postcard.
the postcard, yeah.
And on the other side, on one side of the postcard, it says Venio or
Uh-huh.
Venio.
Yeah, yeah.
I come or
Uh-huh,
I'm
yeah, I'm like,
coming.
"Oh my gosh."
I know,
Yeah, it starts
like
off very ominous, this book.
it doesn't it? Like, that's the thing, I'm still every time I read that and I know it's coming, but every time I read it, that sends chills down my spine. I'm like, "This man is such a master at just subtly
Yeah,
making
yeah.
you feel creepy," and it's like, it's not even like the book like, would you consider
Mm.
the book horror? No, it's not
No,
horror,
no,
but
yeah.
it's spine-tingling, isn't it?
Yes, yes, like, in, like, the best way, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, Lucinda Faye says, "I haven't read any of the series, but it sounds like fun." Would you
Yeah, it's been
recommend
a
the
delightful
series?
series so far, yeah,
Yes, isn't
yeah.
it? I'm glad you're enjoying it. I was a little nervous because I've read the books multiple times, or at least the first 7, 8 books in the series. I don't
Okay,
believe I've read the last 3 or 4, but the first 7 or 8, maybe 9, I've read multiple times, and so
okay.
I love the series. I told you that it sort of changes,
Mm. I did
as
see there's a note in the back of my book talking about, like, the next book in the series, and it was, like, saying, like, the last couple or something were written by a different author, and it said,
uh-huh.
like, is it like, this I don't know when this ebook was printed, but it said something like, "More to come from this author." Like,
Yeah. So,
yeah.
John Bellairs wrote the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the first 4 books in the Louis
Okay, of this
Barneville
one.
series.
Okay.
And then he passed away before he finished book 5,
Okay.
and he had an outline of book 6, if I remember correctly. So book 5 was not complete when he passed away, and so Brad Strickland finished book 5. And then Brad Strickland took the outline for book 6 and he used the outline to write book 6. And
Okay.
then books 7 through 13,
Oh, wow, they really
I
keep it
believe,
wow.
were written entirely by there might have been maybe an outline for book 7, maybe,
Okay.
but, like, from there on, at least from 8 through 13, Brad Strickland wrote the rest of the books
Okay.
entirely,
Okay.
if I remember correctly. So, yeah, so you definitely can at least if I'm remembering correctly, because 'cause it's been a while since I've read the series, but you can tell you can sort of see a shift in the books. Not necessarily a shift, but I feel like it brings in more of a sci-fi fantasy feel to the
Okay.
series.
Is that
Whereas
author? I don't is that author? I wonder if he has a background in that or something.
maybe I've never even researched him. Brad Strickland.
Right, okay, I'm gonna look
Um,
him up. I'm just curious. Strickland. Okay, I found him. Okay, he's primarily known for fantasy and science fiction. That's the first thing that
yeah,
pops
okay.
up.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes sense. Yeah, because
Speculative fiction and yeah, yeah. Okay.
the
Hmm.
first 4 or 5 books I think are like gothic cozy,
Hmm.
and then
With some like
it
mystery in
moves.
there. Yeah.
Yes, right, right, with some
Hmm.
mystery, and then I feel like it moves on and it becomes more sci-fi fantasy. Yeah, as
Which
we
that is for
progress
sure
in
a twist.
series.
I'm not getting sci-fi at all right now from these
Yeah,
books.
no, definitely no sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Lucinda Faye says, "I found out as an adult that my favorite childhood books were all written by different people under the
Oh
pen name."
wow.
Ooh, uh,
Yeah. What series
what
or
books?
which?
What series?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I found out as an adult that Ann M. Martin did not
Mm.
write all of the Babysitters Club books. I
Yeah.
think she
Yeah. I
wrote
think
like
she
the
like
first 10.
yeah, yeah. 'Cause I just started reading those as an adult a couple years ago, and then I was like looking her up. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
I didn't read it as a kid, but yeah, her.
as a kid, I would always read the dedication,
Mm.
and I always thought it was really not weird. I just thought, oh, that's interesting. So she would some of many of the books or the dedication or the thank you, whatever you call it, would say something like, and thank you to Hodges Soleil for his help in preparing the manuscript. And thanks
Oh.
to da, da, da. And afterwards, after I found out that Anna Martin didn't write the whole series, I thought, oh, that's the ghostwriter. And so they had multiple ghostwriters. They didn't
Mm.
have
Okay.
just
Okay.
one. They had multiple.
Which is
Um,
interesting because, like, at the back of these books, like, 'cause I just read one, like, last month. There's a at the back of the book, there's, like, a 'cause I'm on book, I don't know, 30, 40 something right now, and it's, like, it has a dear rea I'm assuming from Annie Martin, like, "Dear reader," and it has, like, oh, like, it was talking about, I don't know, like, ice skating or something. Oh, like, I
yeah,
used to ice skate. It has, like, her, like, it seems like maybe she came up with some of the plot. I have no idea. But, like, it's weird because, like, she has, like, basically a commentary on what just happened
right,
in the book,
right.
even though she didn't write
Yeah,
them.
I remember that. Yeah, so whatever the book was about, whatever the plot of the book was, she would write like a little letter to the reader
Mhm, mhm.
explaining her
You're like, "Oh,
connection.
I dealt with, like, struggles with a big sister," or
Right,
whatever it is. So
right.
she would, yeah.
So yeah, I wonder if that was true or if that was the
It's
ghostwriter.
made me question all everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, listen to Faye
The
says a
Meg
series of 5 books called the Meg Mysteries. There were
yeah,
6 books.
Meg Mysteries. I'm now looking this one up. I've
Never
never
heard
heard
of
of
them.
that.
Yeah, neither have I.
Meg Duncan. Juvenile, okay. Okay, they were published in 1967 to 72.
Huh.
Okay, yeah, I don't recognize it, but there's a cat, like, a Siamese cat. Hmm. They remind me of, like, Nancy Drew, like, with the old illustrations.
Mm. Yeah, I had never heard of those books.
I haven't
Never.
either. Are they similar to Nancy Drew, Lucinda, if you read that? I've only read one Nancy Drew, so I don't have much to compare it to, but
I've only read one Nancy Drew
mm.
also.
Yeah, I just read
Just
the
book
first
one.
one, yeah. And I read the first one of that first series, and then I read, the one from the '80s, I think, or '90s.
Uh,
Yeah, Siamese Cat, yeah. Oh, and you read
yeah.
them instead, okay? Because there was another series similar to Nancy Drew that I'm, like, blinking completely on the name. I didn't read them, but I've seen them in bookstores, but
Yeah, I'm
I can't
gonna
think of the name.
read what Lucinda wrote. I had dark brown hair and a Siamese cat, so I read those instead of Nancy Drew.
I don't okay, so you
I
yeah.
like that. You identified more with Meg.
Yeah, I can't remember the other name.
Another detective?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, there
was
was
it
another, like,
Trixie
series.
Belden? Trixie
Yes,
Belden.
there yes, it is. Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking of. Yeah.
I've never read those either, but
Mm.
the librarian that I worked for when I used to work at an elementary school library, she read those as a child, and so she bought them and donated them to the library. But I never read
That's
them.
nice. Yeah, yeah. I didn't read any of the long series books as a kid, but
I read the Ramona books and the Babysitters.
mm.
And as far as like chapter book series, that was pretty much it.
Like, every time I think of the Babysitters Club, I think of, like, 'cause I didn't read them as a kid, but we had, a board game. We found it at, like, a thrift store when I was a kid, and I just remember my aunt, like, raving about it, and, like, she was, like, around 10 years younger than my mom. So I want to say at that time, maybe she was like 25 or so, but she was like, oh my goodness. Like, because, like, I feel like she read them as a kid. So every time I think about the babies, I think of my aunt and how, like, she was
The
just so,
Babysitters?
yeah, yeah, like 25-year-old woman. She's like so excited that me and my sister as little kids got this board game. Like, she couldn't wait. She's like, it was like a Christmas present. She couldn't wait,
Yeah.
to get to
I
it.
never
Mhm.
I never had the board game, unfortunately, but I did have a friend who who had the board game, and she was into the books just like I was,
Mm.
and so I remember she brought her board game over to my house maybe once or twice, and I got to play it
Oh
a
yeah.
couple of times. And then I think my sister found the board game at a thrift store once we were
Mm.
adults, and we played it and as adults, and it wasn't as fun.
Oh,
It
okay.
wasn't as
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, I don't remember,
Yeah.
but, I remember it looked like the cover and all that looked like the books, so,
Yeah.
yeah. I bet it's worth a
I
lot of money
love
now. I have no idea what happened to it, but,
um
yeah.
yeah, but the Babysitters Club series, that's such a good series. I love it. I just
Yeah, yeah.
So fun.
But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
interested to see where the series goes. Like now, I'm like looking on the lookout for sci-fi stuff.
Oh,
It's
so
weird. Yeah.
which one's book 3? It is, The Letter, the
Mm.
Witch, and the Ring?
Oh yeah, you would know. I don't. I'll take your word for it because I click on it real quick. Let me see. Number 3. The letter, the witch, and the ring.
Okay.
Okay. Oh yeah, for this one, like I don't these books aren't at my library. I have the other ones, but this one is saying the illustrator is Richard Eagle Igelski for these, but that's not the one I have. Hmm. Oh, you froze. Are you still there? Okay. Oh, it froze again. Yeah. Okay, I can see you now. Yeah. Yeah, I can still hear you. Yeah. You're freezing up a little bit, but I can still hear and see you off and on. Yeah, it's going in and out. Can you hear me? Maybe. Or maybe refresh. Is there a refresh button? Oh wait, no, that's not right thing. I just flipped around to show my dog. Hmm. I'm not sure if Angie is still with us. Let's see if I can message her real quick and see if she's still. See if she's still online. Okay, she said she lost internet connection, so I guess we'll close it for for tonight.
Just
But yeah,
me.
it was. Oh, there you go. Oh, you're back. Oh, good.
Oh,
I was like,
Lindsay, are
you're
you still
back.
there, Lindsay?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you see me or hear
Okay.
me? Oh, good. I was.
Sorry. Sorry, my internet, I think at this point, I think like at after a certain time of night, it just starts to go in and out.
Mm,
So I'm probably going to be we'll end this uh in just a minute, but I just wanted to read the blurb.
okay.
Uh, so
Is this a blurb for book 3 or book 2
yeah,
or
book 3.
book 3? Okay.
Okay, yeah, this one is one of my favorites in the series. They go I believe they go on a little road trip to northern Michigan,
Oh, nice.
I
Okay.
think. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I think that's what happened. So this is one of my favorites in the series. But yeah, anything else you wanted to add, Lindsay?
No, just that I've always wanted to see Michigan and see the Upper Michigan and Upper Peninsula and all that. So
Yeah. So
it's
have
something to look
I.
forward to next month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so have I. I think that's why I enjoy this book a lot is because not that it spends a lot of time talking about like Upper Peninsula or the Upper Peninsula or
Mm.
the UP. Not that it spends a lot of time talking about that, but I just like the idea of them
Yeah,
going on a
yeah.
little
And if we
road
can't
trip
travel
to
right now,
northern
at least we
Michigan.
can travel through the books. So,
Right. Yeah.
go on
Yeah.
adventures. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's going to be it for now. I'm so sorry that my internet connection is so terrible, and I
Mm.
apologize for the technical issues at the beginning on the other
Yeah.
live because I had the live playing on the
Oh yeah,
background.
the echo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it was picking up bad on the video, but yeah, it's awful annoying when it happens on
Yeah.
the computer. Yeah.
Hopefully, I can get the issue with my debit card resolved, and I'll get StreamYard. I'll get my subscription to StreamYard. Otherwise, yeah, we may just do Zoom. Yeah,
Okay.
if anybody
Yeah.
wants to join us, then yeah. All right, Lindsay. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for joining me.
Yeah, it was lots of fun. And I said
All right,
catching up.
book
Yeah.
3 in June, at the end of June
Yes.
sometime.
Mhm.
All right.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Bye, Lindsay.
Bye.